Welcome to the Buddy News Roundup. We've got exciting stories for you this week. We've got dog stolen from porch, then returned. A hero dog saves a family from a bear. And we've got firefighters saving cats, of all things. So I'm here once again with Layla and Nathan. We are excited. Uh, let's get going.
All right, great to see you guys. Let's start it off with the firefighter saving four cats. A great story, if there ever was one.
New now at 8, firefighters in the Inland Empire stepping up to save a group of kittens pulled from a burning apartment. CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk with the story of first responders who simply wouldn't give up. Mike?
Would not give up. And I want everyone to know first and foremost that the four cats that they rescued from inside of that apartment are fine and are all okay tonight. And it is because of the actions of these firefighters and the sheriff's deputy from Riverside County that were out there. Take a look at the video here. Riverside County releasing us some helmet cam video. Look at that. That's the firefighter giving CPR to that cat. They were doing chest compressions on the cat, giving the mouth to mouth until they got oxygen over there, giving 100% oxygen to these cats to try to save them. This happened inside of an apartment fire out there in the Jurupa Valley area. You see all of those firefighters and that deputy doing everything they can to save those cats. And I'm happy to tell you that tonight all of those cats are okay thanks to the efforts of all of those first responders, the 3 firefighters and that sheriff's deputy. And you can see them kind of petting the cat's face, and then eventually the cat kind of comes back and realizes what was going on. He just has this kind of confused look on his face. But again, they all went to a veterinarian. They were all checked out. They're all okay. And it is in large part because of these firefighters. You can see, look at that. They've got the oxygen masks on them there as well. And then eventually all 4 of them, look, there's the little guy, starts to wake up and kind of realizing what's going on around there. So a really heartwarming story. We obviously thank our firefighters out there for doing that and getting those animals out of that apartment and out of that smoke and doing everything they could to keep them alive.
Goodness, Mike, that is incredible video you just showed us. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to our firefighters out there who in their Nomex gear like that, no less, have to work out there in this heat, Danny.
We love our firefighters,
yeah, we sure
what they sacrifice for us and the way they protect us. We are so grateful for what they do.
Wow, so that's crazy. I am so glad those firefighters rescued those cats. How do you know this is a real news story? Because the firefighters were applying oxygen to cats that were just perfectly still. So I'm glad they woke up and were okay. I do not recommend anybody to, go to their alert cat and try to put an oxygen mask on them. It is not going to go well. This is for those of you not familiar with the Inland Empire area of California. It is people look at a map and they think, oh, it's LA or a little bit off of LA. It is not. It is very far from LA, although it's in SoCal. Ontario, Riverside, Yucaipa, Redlands area. It's very different than LA. So just a heads up to our viewers.
I agree with the cats had to be completely out of it, because the whole time I was sitting there, I was thinking, man, I hope this cat doesn't come to while he's doing the CPR, because it's going to take a big swat, because they don't know. But they were kind of out of it when they first came back. I'm so grateful they're all back. God bless our firemen, because the fact that I wonder if that's a pet oxygen. I really am curious, because I don't know. Is that a baby, an infant oxygen mask, or are there trucks equipped with pet oxygen masks? I don't know, but that's a cool story. And I'm so glad all 4 of them were saved.
Yeah, what a great story. And I was just thinking about, since they were obviously the cats were unconscious already. You're talking about a matter of seconds or minutes before the story ends really badly.
Yeah.
And so they just happened to get there just in a miracle of timing to be able to be there in time to save them. So, seconds count in urgent emergencies like that. And what a great way for the story to end,
Amen.
All right. Next story is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to starts off bad, but it ends good. All right.
We have some good news. After a heartless crime on Easter, a New Jersey family's dog was stolen right off their porch in Clifton. They know that Rocky was stolen because a surveillance camera caught this, a woman and a child using a sheet to kidnap him. Well, good news, he's been found. But the big question now, why did it happen? Here's News 4's Adam Harding.
buddy.
We were there Wednesday as Clifton police returned Rocky the dog, the tiny pup missing for days, finally found.
How does it feel to be holding Rocky right now?
Oh, great. So, such a great feeling like that we recovered him and he's going to go back home.
Rocky's sudden disappearance making headlines after this shocking home surveillance video from Easter Sunday. The 6-year-old Yorkie Shih Tzu mix was out playing in his yard when a child could be seen wandering onto the property holding a blanket. Within seconds, an adult woman gets out of a nearby car and runs toward the dog. Moments later, they run back to the car. The family couldn't believe it.
As a parent, that was really disturbing. I mean, if the child, wasn't able to get the dog, the mom should have said, okay, let's just leave it. It's safe, it's fine. We'll go get our own dog. But to actually get out of her car and actually help, or just to do it for her son, that it was really disturbing. As a parent, that's the worst thing I've ever saw in my life.
Rocky's owners are currently on vacation in Hawaii. We spoke with the family roughly an hour before the dog was found.
I just want my dog back. My kids want their dog back. My wife wants her dog back. We all want Rocky back.
Clifton police haven't revealed how they tracked the dog down. They confirm they've identified the woman in the video and say she's cooperating with detectives.
Well, we don't know the whole story. Could be something innocent. Maybe she was trying to get the dog out of harm's way.
It's unclear right now if any charges will be filed. A family friend says he's just thankful this story has a happy ending.
They're on vacation, and this kind of was heartbreaking to them. It kind of put a stop to their vacation until Rocky was found. I spoke to them. Now they're relaxed now, and they're in Hawaii enjoying themselves, knowing that Rocky's home safe.
In Clifton, I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
I think the moral of the story is if you see a dog that you want and it's on a porch, don't go and take that dog. It belongs
Don't take
to
the dog.
family.
Right.
What a crazy story. I'm glad everything worked out okay and the dog's home safe.
I mean, I like that the cop's trying to have a positive attitude. Like maybe he's trying to get the dog out of harm's way. He was playing in the front yard. That was like literally, and you could see her skulking off. It wasn't like she was like proud of what she was doing. She was definitely like covered the dog up in a towel or a blanket, being all sneaky. Take that woman to jail. There's plenty of dogs available to adopt, to buy if you want to buy. Like, what are you actually doing? Please put other people's animals down and go get your own. Please stop.
Yeah. I think it was straight up theft. Absolutely straight up theft. Then when they had a camera, I didn't see the camera. Then it becomes a backup story. I don't give them good intentions at all.
I just feel like you have to prosecute people doing these stupid things, or you're going to end up continuing to have it. Like
absolutely.
It's crazy.
Lock them up. All right. Let's go with the hero dog who was brave enough to fight off a bear, which is braver than I would be. So let's check that out.
How far your family pet would go for you? Well, tonight, one family certainly found their answer.
A northern New Mexico hero dog put her life at risk for the sake of her humans and dozens of other farm animals. Now, I'm just advising you, you may want to grab a tissue for this story from Julie Frendak.
It's a good life on the farm.
It's a huge family effort. We're always doing stuff together.
The Martinez family's land in Cordova dates back generations. Chickens, horses, and dogs are all part of life.
It just feels amazing to get the family together when we're working the land, working with the animals.
But the dogs lead the pack.
They have become the caretakers of the land, of the family, of the animals.
Especially on the night of March 3rd.
She was tracking something. At the time, we didn't know what, but we knew she was tracking something.
When the sun came up, they found their dog Honey lying in the driveway.
Her face was swollen on the left, so I turned her head like to the right. And that's when I saw like her whole neck was just ripped from the back all the way down.
Scratches in the fences and on the trees and things like that. evidence that a bear has been around the area.
A half-blind, 12-year-old parvo survivor up against a bear. She saved the rest of the pack, including the family's 60 chickens.
It was just devastating. You know, I never thought I would ever see our dog in that shape.
Honey stayed overnight at an emergency vet, but emergency care isn't cheap.
We were committed that we were going to do whatever it took to help her, but it was looking to be very unreachable.
They turned to Espanola Humane's new clinic, set up for affordable urgent animal care for Rio Arriba County.
Her face was so hugely swollen. I mean, you couldn't even tell features in her face.
They stitched up her neck, and Honey's been back for frequent dressing changes and medication for a fraction of the Martinez's original quote.
Everyone cares about their animals, and some people just don't have enough money to pay for thousands and thousands of dollars of care that is required.
She protected our chickens and our family, and I feel like they in turn have protected her in helping her through her, I'm going to get emotional, through her healing journey.
Honey's open wound will have to heal from the inside out, which will take months.
She's our little savior. She's been nicknamed the Bear Slayer. And we've just come to find out that the Bear Slayer is afraid of the vacuum cleaner.
A happy ending.
She's fighting. She's fighting for her life.
For Honey the heroine. In Cordova, Julie Frendak, KOB4.
The vacuum cleaner, the ultimate villain there for dogs. That poor thing, though. What a good girl. Well, Espanola Humane depends on donors to keep their care affordable. Right now, urgent care is only available to Rio Arriba County, but they hope to expand it in the future. We'll have a link to donate and ways to help other heroic dogs like Honey on our website, KOB.com.
Sweet Honey defends the family from a bear craziness, defending her pack, the chickens, but also the humans. Layla's got her tissue out.
I didn't heed the warning, and I should have.
And, total humor at the end there. Dogs are afraid of the vacuum cleaner. Bear, no problem. I'll take the bear on. I'm so glad that Honey's going to be okay. It's going to take a little bit, but she's, even from those first shots of her at the vet to the later shots of her at the vet, she improved dramatically. So our prayers for Honey, and what a neat story.
Dogs are very brave. I think sometimes we forget this is their original job. Their job was to be outside protecting land, farms, other animals, things like that, herd animals. And so I think because we've gotten so comfortable with them being in our house and being the fluffy, thing, we forget that that's their actual job, and they will do it to their demise in some cases. I think it also highlights this need for more affordable vet care. And I think there's probably more opportunities for what they're doing in that county, but also for a more reasonable and comprehensive pet insurance. Like, you have pet insurance now, it covers very specific things. It does not cover something like that. And so I think looking at how that can be reshaped in the future would be a huge undertaking for someone.
Yeah, I mean, especially such an urgent or emergency situation like that, where a dog or a cat is injured, like that, and there's nothing that the family can do. They can't afford to. You hate to see that that poor pet get euthanized because they can't afford the necessary procedures. So, yeah, I mean, just what a great story. I think it's we take it for granted sometimes, but they are our protectors. And I was actually very excited because two of my dogs are horrified of the vacuum. And so I think they're not going to protect me if someone breaks in, but maybe they would. Maybe they just need it to be a bear or,
right.
A bad guy.
So, maybe the fact that they're scared of the vacuum doesn't make them big chickens, so we'll see. I hope to never find out. All right. Let's go with, a good old reunited story. Those are always great.
Now at 10:30, a years-long nightmare finally comes to an end. A woman is reunited with her beloved dog 5 years after she disappeared. The owner says Lola somehow got out of the backyard of her home in 2021 and never came home. After years with no updates, she assumed Lola was gone forever.
But miraculously, that was not the case. Chris Wolf is live in Simi Valley with the story of a woman and her best friend back together again. Chris?
Micah, Cher, this little pup, now 11, slipped under a backyard fence 5 years ago. And let me tell you, she will never be allowed to play in the backyard again alone. This is not your average cute dog story. You see, this lovable little schnauzer mix named Lola slipped under the backyard fence of her Reseda home and out of the snuggle-filled life she knew with owner Michelle Bluestone for a very long time. 5 years, to be exact. But in a twist of fate that many would call a miracle, Lola somehow survived a journey and experience she will never be able to share with us, and was recently reunited with her enduring and endearing caretaker, Michelle Bluestone, who now lives in Simi Valley.
She's so sweet.
The clinical psychology major adopted Lola from a shelter in 2018 when the dog was 3. The two were inseparable until that fateful day in 2021.
The worst time of my life. I went through so much stress. I spent weeks, months looking for her, putting up flyers everywhere. She's microchipped, so I was waiting for like a phone call, that someone found her.
That phone call never came. Crushed at the loss of her BFF, Michelle knew she had to eventually move on and close that chapter of her life. She believed that Lola had died, unable to handle the harshness of the outside world. In the years that followed, Michelle gained more education and degrees, a husband, and a new female canine companion named Sunny. Then in February, against all odds and expectations, that phone call finally did come. The caller was a staff member at an animal shelter in Echo Park.
They're like, "Is this Michelle?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We have your dog Lola here." And I was in such shock, I couldn't even believe it. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
Turns out someone spotted Lola on the side of the street in the Echo Park area and then turned her over to police, who then took her to the animal shelter. Her overall health was very good, but she did have 11 rotted teeth that had to be extracted and also some overgrown nails. But she has made a full recovery. Reporting live in Simi Valley, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Okay, Chris Wolf, thank you.
Rash of stories about these dogs getting out, disappearing for years. It looks like out in the wild, and then they get reunited, which I'm very glad about. Humans had these stories not too long ago. If your grandparents are alive, talk to them. They might not want to say anything. Ask your parents. Grandparents used to, especially men, I'm just going to go out for a pack of cigarettes. And then they wouldn't come back for months. Both of my grandpas did that. And then they came back. I guess that's just what you did in the 1930s and 1940s, if you needed a little time away. So I do not advocate smoking. I'm glad both of these, or all of these dogs that we've been watching, but especially this dog, came back and they're reunited when we're showing these dogs now, they look like, just had to see the world and I'm fine now.
I want to know, because my animals, my cats will, when I open the door, they'll like try and peek outside. Where do you think you're going that's going to be better than where you live? Like, that dog was living in the lap of friggin' luxury. It was getting cuddles every day. Nope, got to go outside. Got to go under that gate. Got to go see what's out there.
Going to graduations.
And now you have 13 rotting teeth and long nails. No petties, mani-pedis where you were. I'll never understand it. I don't know what's going through their little brains, and we will never know what her adventure was. I'm glad she's back with her mom, and I'm glad that all is well. But I just really want to understand where they think they're going and what they think is going to be better over there.
What happened to Lola when she was on the run? Lola on the run.
That's a
Did she
Buddy
turn
movie right there.
right
That's a
there?
movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Lola on the run.
Did she turn to a life of crime in Simi Valley?
Probably.
What happened? How did she support herself? The adventures of Lola in Simi Valley. It's definitely something that needs to be written about.
It does. We'll make it happen.
All right, here's make a good movie too. 30 Dogs on an Airplane. I think it's there's a movie for sure.
My dream flight.
A few dozen pups and cats boarded a small plane at the North Las Vegas airport and landed in Utah this morning.
And Fox 5's Mike Allen was there and tells us why they took this flight.
Yeah, they all got loaded on, no hitches. Of course, there were some vocal passengers, maybe not wanting to go for a ride in the plane, but they're not going to the vet, going to Salt Lake City, and that's where you're going to find a lot of loving families and homes.
Some of the dogs still sleeping, still snoring this morning, had to wake up for the big flight.
A few of Southern Nevada's cutest taking flight Monday morning.
They're going to a better place. They're going to be finding new homes, foster homes, adoptive homes.
In Salt Lake City, they'll find no shortage of people eager to give them forever homes.
Las Vegas, notorious for being overcrowded in terms of pet population. Believe it or not, some cities have the opposite problem. They have more adopters than available pets. So it's a win-win for both Salt Lake City and Las Vegas.
Kelsey Pizzi with the Animal Foundation says it's no accident that Salt Lake has plenty of room for these pups and kittens.
There's a lot of cities across the country, they really crack down on spay and neuter, microchipping laws. Hopefully one day Las Vegas can get there as well.
Taking them on the journey is a guy drawn to helping animals find good homes and is now making his first such flight from Southern Nevada.
Well, I've been a pilot my whole life. I started off, my main career was engineering, so I did that for a long time. So this is kind of my retirement job.
Of course, flying these passengers is a little different than flying people.
For the most part, they're good passengers, yeah. Sometimes they smell a little bit, but that's to be expected.
This takes a little load off of the Animal Foundation, but they've still got a big need for adoptions.
Right now we have 600 animals in the shelter, and we're not even in our busy season yet. So to be able to be proactive, free up space now before we hit our busy season is great.
And like we heard, Animal Foundation still has a lot of animals in their care, and they do need to be adopted. Of course, they can't do this all the time, send these surplus animals over to Salt Lake. We got information on our website on how to adopt these animals or foster if you're interested. Reporting from the North Las Vegas airport, Mike Allen, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Making a joke there. Sometimes they smell a little bit. Have you been on a regular flight recently? Also, I need to get a hold of these dogs because they're in for a change, man. Vegas to Salt Lake City. I hope these dogs have been through their 12-step programs because there's no more gambling, there's no more booze, there's no more easy women. It's a life of manicured lawns and going to bed at 9 p.m. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to make sure the dogs know what they're in store for.
I'm glad you're saying there's nothing wrong with it because that's your life. Manicured lawn and in bed by 9 p.m.
True. Yes.
So, look, I think this highlights the incredible importance of spaying and neutering and how important that is to make sure that that's happening. And also how important fosters are into the system. The fact that they've got to fly animals into another city because they're so overrun. 600 animals in any system is crippling. And adopt, don't shop. Get your animals spayed and neutered. And if you can foster, please foster. If you can adopt, please adopt. It's just incredibly hard until people I don't think people realize, I will oftentimes at kitten season come out and be like, it's kitten season. And people think it's such a great thing. No, that means there's literally thousands of kittens being born in the street and we got to figure out what to do with them. They're adorable. They're sweet. Trust me. We were just talking about how cute and adorable Buddy was when we took him when he was 10 weeks old. He's now a big, fat, annoying, in the middle of the night Siamese. But we love him.
Who we love.
We love him very much. But it's very different for people when you have those kittens and you have so many of them and they grow up to be actual cats with personalities. This morning was, how many pill bottles can I knock off of dad's counter? Oh, 40. Okay, so we're going to keep doing that. So, like, you have to know you're going to end up with a cat, and sometimes you're going to end up with a very precocious cat, and be okay with that. It's important. It's important right now.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about, that flight ride, how he was, for the pilot, I think he was probably up there and he's hearing the barking and he's smelling the smells and he's probably thinking still better than Spirit Airlines.
I bet he is thinking that.
Yeah.
Spot on.
All
You're
right.
not wrong.
Yeah. All right. We're going. We got a clip here going out on a funny note. I don't think there's ever been a more Florida story than this Florida story. Very Florida. Here we go.
And now to a criminal case that the Martin County Sheriff says you just can't make up. A woman accused of spending more than half an hour chipping away at a hurricane window to try to steal a dog. Reporter Rachel Perry has the details.
According to investigators, the woman broke into a home here in Hobe Sound and tried stealing the homeowner's dog before the homeowner confronted her. On a busy highway and in broad daylight, a woman can be seen climbing through the bedroom window of this Hobe Sound home. The homeowner telling me off camera she came home from work to find someone standing inside her house. The woman seen in the videos has since been identified as Roberta Walker from Washington, D.C.
This is going to be, it's one of these things that goes in the category of you can't make this stuff up.
Martin County Sheriff John Boonseek says Walker spent roughly 30 minutes trying to get inside the home.
And for the next half an hour, she chipped away at an impact glass window in the back of the house with a rock and a little piece of metal. And eventually was able to compromise that window, at which point she crawled into the window.
Even trying to steal the family's dog.
There's nothing she did made sense. Daytime burglary, spent a half an hour doing it, stayed in the house, drug a 90-pound dog outside. Like, what are you going to do with a 90-pound dog? And then in broad daylight, stole a car.
Following a large manhunt, Walker was arrested and officials say they found jewelry in the vehicle from a second burglary. Boonseek also tells us Walker has a long criminal record, saying if convicted, these new charges carry harsh consequences.
So it's significant because it's a burglary of an occupied dwelling with damage over $1,000. It's actually a life felony. Now, do I think she's going to get a life sentence? No, but she's going to get a significant amount of time, especially with the criminal history that she has backing her up.
Officials say they found Walker in Stewart driving a stolen car and arrested her. She's now facing multiple charges. In Martin County, Rachel Perry, WPBF 25 News.
I'm very surprised I did not hear the term bath salts in this story, which are not to be used in the bath. By the way, I had to learn that, 10 years ago or whatever, when I kept seeing all these stories with bath salts that frequently involved Florida man or Florida woman.
Yep.
They're big down there, and they're not for your bath. Look, I hope this lady gets the help she needs, but you can't be doing that. You can't be breaking in and trying to steal dogs in daylight. You shouldn't be doing it in the at the nighttime either. But yeah, glad we had a peaceful resolution here.
Yes.
So I didn't realize we were going to have so many stealing dog stories on this episode. But I mean, come on, people. Also, that dog was 90 pounds, had to weigh more than her. She's lucky she didn't get bit. And then she's lucky that when she came home, the homeowner didn't do. Like, Florida, they got stand your ground laws. They got different laws than most other places. Wow. Like, do we know, was the dog with her in the stolen car? Like, did she actually get the dog off the property? Did she go in there to steal the dog or to steal other things? Like, what is happening? What is going, like, I have so many questions, so many additional questions.
So many questions and none have good answers,
No, they don't.
But yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm guessing there were some illegal substances involved. I don't think there was a lot of logic going on to that crime. There wasn't, this is not a professional criminal we're dealing with. So, yeah.
But yes, a professional criminal, because she's got a massive record. It's like, what is going through your brain?
I would say not smart criminal, maybe,
Yes.
She's trying to break into the pro pros.
Yeah, she's in her D League. She's trying to get pro.
She
Trying to go pro.
failed. She failed. Like, normally, if you have a dog, that's the house you don't break into. Not,
Yeah,
and that dog
right,
didn't look like,
right.
didn't look like
Yes.
Coco or whatever those other dogs. That was a big old dog. That's probably like
Yeah.
a guard
You know
dog.
it's gotta be
90-pound dog.
barking.
I'd be afraid. I'd be too scared to try and get in there. And, yeah.
Look, to be very clear, I'd be too scared to do any crime, but
Yeah.
definitely not climbing through some window with a giant dog on the other side of it. Never going to be me.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that is all the stories we have today.
All right. Well,
Brought
it's
us
been
some
fun.
doozies this today.
Some
Yeah, it's some
doozies.
good
This
ones.
was a good
Fun,
one.
a lot of head shakers, and we'll get together and we'll do it again.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.